convening the Committee on Higher Education and Technology for a joint hearing first in room 309. Today's Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. Our 2 p.m. agenda, we start with SB 2782, which is a joint hearing with the Labor Committee. And before we get started, we just want to remind folks who are on Zoom, if you can remain muted until you're asked to speak, and then also if you can remove any trademarked or copyrighted images from your background. And we are just asking folks to participate in a civil way. So, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Moving on with our first measure, SB 2782, SD2. Up first, we have the Office of Language Access. Afirak? Please say your last name.
Good afternoon, Chair Peruso, Vice Chair Capella, and Chair Matsuyoshi, and member of the committee. Afirak Bamrungrian from the Office of Language Access. The Office of Language Access stands on a written testimony in support of this measure, and I will be available for any questions the committee may have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have CIO Doug Murdoch, Hawaii Office of Enterprise Technology Services.
Aloha, I'm Doug Murdoch, CIO. I stand on our testimony in support of the bill.
Thank you so much for your testimony. I will mention we also have testimony and support from Department of Human Services Director, Kathy Betts. Up next, we have Patricia McNan. Man. Okay.
Aloha, chairs and vice chairs. I'm Pat McManam, and I'm co-leader with Amy Agbayani with the Hawaii Friends of Civil Rights. We stand in strong support of this measure. It might look a little complicated, but really its intent is to try and standardize or create a common look, touch, and feel across all the state's websites. So, for example, this morning, I went to the legislative website. Your language access symbol is a little circle, and it's buried in the upper right-hand corner. You've got a great drop-down handicap accessible tool, by the way, on your website. It's wonderful. You go to Department of Human Services. It, in small letters, even above the border with the state seal, it indicates that there are different language messages available. You go to the Department of Labor under the consent decree. It's probably the model. And I think in one of the testimonies you have a Photoshop of it. You see how the federal government is viewing providing notice. But at any rate, it's standardized across many states like Washington. Here, you know, sometimes it's buried at the bottom of a homepage. And anybody who's looking for information could easily give up. So it's really asking Mr. Murdoch's organization to work with the Office of Language Access to create some kind of guidance for the departments on dealing with language access. And I know he's requesting in his testimony $100,000 for the position. We are in full support of that because, gee, wouldn't it be terrific if we could also hire somebody who also has technological knowledge as opposed to just my limited LEP knowledge. But anyway, thank you. If you have any questions, I'm available.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Up next, we have Maria Reloge with Hawaii Coalition for Immigrants' Rights.
Yes. Aloha, chairs, vice chairs, and members of the committee. My name is Maria Ralihai with the Hawaii Coalition for Immigrant Rights. We strongly support SB 2782 as it would provide equal access to state services and information for individuals with limited English proficiency on state websites and other information technology. I just wanted to kind of add on to what Pat McManaman said about examples. So in our written testimony, we provided a screenshot of the LIR's exam or homepage, which is an example of a multilingual accessibility standard, and it basically incorporates a language selection option and on how to access the information displayed on the website in a different language. So some websites are also conducting usability tests to understand cultural considerations for their target audience. So this may mean ensuring that content and the image is resonating with the target LEP community. So these are just, some of the examples. And by developing these standards and providing technical guidance to state entities, we can ensure that everyone is able to access the state, services and informations equitably. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your testimony. That's all I have on my testifiers list, in person and on Zoom. Is there anyone else wishing to testify? I will note that we also have testimony and support from the Legal Clinic, Roots Reborn, Waipahu Safe Haven Center, and the Hawaii Children's Action Network Speaks, along with 4 other individuals, all in support. Members, are there any questions? Chair.
I have a question for Director Murdoch. So just in light of our current fiscal situation, I am wondering if we are unable to budget for this position this cycle, if your office is already thinking about or laying the foundation for this work in the future, is this an issue that you haven't really even touched yet?
We have support for this on the website template that exists now, but we really don't have any internal expertise in how to better implement. It may require us to use artificial intelligence or some other tool to translate websites more effectively and to be able to work with the departments a lot on how they're implementing. So it would be difficult for us to do much without additional resources.
Okay.
Progress would be slow.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Members, any other questions? Seeing none, I think we're going to recess for decision making. Okay.
Recess. So reconvening, on this measure, Senate Bill 2782, related to electronic information technology, we're going to pass this out as an HD1, just defecting the effective date to July 1, 3000. Noting in the committee report that the department is currently, ETS is currently unable to do this work without additional financial support. Are there any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on SB 2782, SD2, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Representative LaChica. Aye. Representative Martin. Aye. Representative Martinez. Aye. Representative Matayoshi.
Aye.
Representative Mizuno.
Aye.
Representative Quinlan is excused. Representative Todd. Aye. Representative Woodson is excused. Representative Garcia.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you.
Committee on Labor and Government Operations, same recommendation. Any comments? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Members, LGO members voting on Senate Bill 2782, SD2. Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Representative Capella.
Aye.
Representative Martinez. Representative Sayama is excused. Representative Tam.
Aye.
Representative Alcos, likewise excused. Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you, members.
Thank you. We are adjourning this agenda,
Oh, no,
or this
no, no.
part of the agenda. Oh,
We're not.
we're
adjourning. Just
recessing.
recessing.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. Committee on Higher Education and Technology.
We're going to continue on with SB 2287 SD2, relating to the Office of Enterprise Technology. Up first, we have, and our only testifier is CIO Doug Murdoch, Hawaii Office of Enterprise Technology Services.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, members. We stand on our testimony in support of the bill.
Thank you so much. Members, are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to continue on. Up next is SB 2526 SD2, relating to information technology. We have two testifiers. Mr. Murdoch, please join us again.
Thank you. Doug Murdoch, Chief Information Officer. We stand on our testimony in support of the bill.
Thank you so much. I also have testimony from Richard Zhang from ServPAC in support. That's all I have on my testifiers list. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on this measure? Seeing none, members, any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to continue on. SB 2817 SD2, up first, relating to the University of Hawaii College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources. Up first is Parwinder Gurwal with the University of Hawaii in support.
Chair Peruso, Vice Chair Capella, and members of the committee, thank you for this opportunity to testify. And we strongly support this particular bill, and we do need additional extension agents. And these extension programs, they need the help of these people to disseminate university information for the benefit of individuals and for families. And we do propose one small amendment, which is in Section 3, which designates one full-time extension agent in water quality and conservation in the County of Maui. We are basically saying that instead of extension specialist, we are changing it to extension agent as we originally proposed. That's all, and I'm here to answer any questions, and CTAR is always willing to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean. Moving on, we have Micah Munakate. Munakata. I think that's how I say it. Ulupono Initiative in support. Okay, not here. We have Brian Miyamoto, Hawaii Farm Bureau. Not here. Also in support, though. And then we have UPA in support. Thank you so much for your testimony. That's all I have on my testifiers list. Is there anyone else wishing to testify? Please, Dennis from Hi-Fi.
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. Dennis Chase, I'm the program manager for the Farm to School Hui at Hawaii Public Health Institute, and I would like to add our testimony in support of this bill. I think many on the committee are aware that as an island state over the next couple of decades, we really have to transform and improve our entire food and agriculture system to be more self-sustainable. And I think an important part of that is going to be education, technical assistance, and we're going to need a lot of it. So I think these positions and others like them are critical to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else wishing to testify? Members, are there any questions?
I have a quick question, I think for UPA. So last session, we had some challenges with this measure because of the designation or the title of the positions.
Yes.
And I'm hoping you can explain to the body and to the public the difference between a specialist, extension specialist, and extension agent, and or that might be something that CTAR might want to address.
I think CTAR would be the better person to.
Thank you. Because it does also have to do with union classifications, so.
Correct. So now, moving forward, all these positions will be under faculty. That's the suggestion from here. That said, the extension agent is 100% assigned to extension programs, and they are the one that disseminate information. The specialist is also majority assigned to extension, but they can have a partial appointment in research and or teaching. That the purpose of that is that they are the actual generators of applied knowledge. They work on applied, the problems that we face, they develop solutions to that, and then they share it or empower the agents to deliver it. So we have here 4 agents requested and 1 specialist.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Members, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to SB 2937 SD1 relating to access to language. Access to learning. Sorry, long day. After, we only have 1 testifier that's on the list to testify in person. Kaui Kimura from University of Hawaii in support. Okay. I will also mention we also have testimony from the Executive Office on Early Learning, as well as Kekula'o Navahi, and Kupuna for Mo'opuna, also in support. And then we have about 5, a lot of people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 15 individuals in support, and 1 individual in opposition. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on this measure? Okay, seeing none. Members, any questions? Okay, we're going to move on to our last bill, SB 3191, University of Hawaii in support.
Vasily Sirmus, good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair. We're standing in support of our testimony, and Chair, thank you for actually scheduling that bill. It was quite an achievement, so thank you.
Okay, that's all we have on our testifiers list. Is there anyone else wishing to testify?
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair. My name is Robert Harris on behalf of the Hawaii State Ethics Commission. We apologize for not submitting comments. We missed the hearing notice, but we are available for any questions you might have. We don't have anything substantive to add. Thank you.
Chair, for questions?
I have a quick question for Mr. Harris. So the last time, and so we're we continue to move these bills just in anticipation of, just want to have as many vehicles moving as possible. So we've heard this bill already, and when you testified before, you said that you hadn't had any issues come before you with respect to the issues addressed in this measure. And I'm wondering, then, were you suggesting, you weren't very direct, and I'm wondering, are you saying that, you have confidence in the University of Hawaii to handle these kinds of questions? Is that, should that be our takeaway?
The comment that was made earlier was in reference to the University of Hawaii's adopted procedures, which indicated that they would consult with the Ethics Commission. And I think based on the testimony, I think it's only if it's a matter of some level or some threshold. And so we have not yet been consulted. I think that was the intent of the comment.
I see. Okay.
So we have not been involved in any of the tech transfers to date. I do believe that a policy decision was made when this law was originally passed, essentially to give the university more direct authority over that, and I don't think we're trying to necessarily second guess that at this stage. These are unique circumstances, and there are reasons specifically to allow commercialization of something that otherwise would be solely a state purpose in order to maintain or recruit faculty. There's a number of policy reasons for this. Yeah. And so I think that decision was made. We're not necessarily trying to re-examine it at this stage.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have a quick question for Vasilis. So can you describe to the committee in layman's terms what that threshold will be or is?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to make sure is that we're not asking for an exclusion from Chapter 84. We're actually asking that the Board of Regents enforces and oversees Chapter 84 for tech transfer activities, not individuals. The most common example we have on this conflict of interests are when a faculty member, a PI, receives a federal grant, and also in that grant, a subcontract may be on a startup or a company that the PI may have any financial interest. Then at that point, we got to make sure that there is a firewall between the faculty member and any financial decisions made with respect to that company. So we put the management plan together. We have the faculty member, the dean, and the provost at Manoa to sign that. And then our attorneys looking at that, and they sign, and then I sign that management plan.
And you've been using this process already?
We've been using this process quite often, half a dozen times a year we see things like that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Members, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to recess for decision making.
For decision making. So on the measures before us, so we'll begin with SB 2287 relating to the Office of Enterprise Technology Services. We're going to pass this out as a HG1, simply defecting the effective date. We've been hearing many of the measures on this agenda. We've heard them already, and we are just continuing to keep them moving. So we're defecting the effective date. Are there any questions or concerns? Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on SB 2287 SD2, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Representative LaChica. Aye. Representative Martin. Aye. Representative Martinez. Aye. Representative Matayoshi. Representative Matayoshi. Yes. Representative Mizuno is excused. Representative Quinlan is excused. Representative Todd is excused. Representative Woodson. Representative Garcia.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. On SB 2526, SD2, we're going to, again, move this out as a HD1, defecting the effective date. Are there any questions or concerns? The first one was our joint. So voting on, or any questions or concerns about SB 2526 SD2. Simply moving out in HD1. Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on SB 2526 SD2, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Noting the excused absences of Representatives Mizuno, Quinlan, and Todd, which will stand for the rest of this agenda. Members, are there any reservations or noes? Seeing none, Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to SB 2817 SD2. Chair's recommendation is to first amend language in Section 3 for the Maui position, changing it from an extension specialist to an extension agent, making technical amendments to address questions of clarity, consistency, and style, defecting the effective date to 3,000, and also noting in the committee report that we'd like to have this FTE appropriation have a recurring general funded designation. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on SB 2817 SD2, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Are there any reservations or noes? Seeing none, Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. On SB 2937, SD1, relating to access to learning, Chair's recommendation is to pass out as an HG1, defecting the effective date to July 1, 3000. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on SB 2937, SD1, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Are there any reservations or noes? Seeing none, Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Last measure, SB 3191, SD1, relating to technology transfer at the University of Hawaii. Again, we're going to pass this one out as an HG1, simply affecting the effective date to July 1, 3000. Questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on SB 3191, SD1, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Members, are there any reservations or noes? Noting the presence of Representative Mizuno. Any other reservations or noes? Okay, seeing none, Chair, recommendation is adopted.
We are adjourned.
All right, hello, audience of one. Two. Hi, sorry. We're convening the joint hearing of the Committees on Energy and Environmental Protection and Committee on Higher Education and Technology. It is Wednesday, March 13th at 2:30 p.m. in room 309. We have one bill on the agenda today, Senate Bill 2505. This is a housekeeping bill to delete language about the Hawaii Pacific Hydrogen Hub, which did not get a federal grant. So I think we have just the Hawaii State Energy Office to testify. If you would like. 2504, did I say? Oh, sorry. Senate Bill 2504. And we have first up to testify Hawaii State Energy Office.
Aloha chairs, vice chairs, and members of the committee. Maria Tome, Hawaii State Energy Office. We will stand on our written testimony in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here to testify on this measure? If not members, any questions? Nope. All right, seeing none, I think we can go straight into the vote.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah, we're ready.
good with that? Okay, I think we're going to pass this forward as is. Let's do it clean.
Clean. Okay.
So if no questions, Vice Chair, please take the vote.
Okay. Chair recommends to pass as is SB 2504, SD2, and both chair and vice chair vote aye. Representative Gates is excused. Representative Kahaloa is excused. Representative Peruso.
Aye.
Representative Woodson is here, and Representative Ward, I believe, is excused also. And Chair, your measure is adopted.
Committee on Higher Education and Technology, same recommendations. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on SB 2504, SD2, Chair's recommendation is to pass unamended. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Representative LaChica. Aye. Representative Martin. Aye. Representative Martinez. Aye. Representative Matayoshi.
Aye.
Representative Mizuno. Aye. Representative Quinlan is excused. Representative Todd is excused. Representative Woodson. Aye. Representative Garcia is excused. Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you.
All right, and we're adjourned.